With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here come the Seahawks. Time for that offense and quarterback Russell Wilson to go to work.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Now Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Oh, Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him short of the line to gain. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Not the best of starts here offensively. You're back home. You lost a couple games in a row, and here's an early 3-and-out to start things off.
And I think they were counting on being at home and having the home crowd carry them along a little bit to help things get better. But the bottom line is you don't get the crowd involved until you play better. They've got to create some first downs, some big plays, things of that nature to make sure that the crowd is right there with them.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Lance. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Flush to his right. Johnson's got it complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Well, he was trying to make something happen there outside of the pocket, but ultimately what did happen was a loss of yardage.
Yeah, he held on to it for a long time, didn't he? As you talked about trying to make something happen, hoping something would come open, but it didn't. Ends up shoveling it off. Ends up going for negative play.
Taking a shot for Samuel.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Lane. And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense for the Niners, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lance. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a play fake. Lance. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Henderson will try and run for the 1st. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game. really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Here's Carson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. We're scoreless after one. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man is Samuel, complete. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Henderson, and down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes, they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time, he uses quickness to make a play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lance. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Wilson. He gets it complete to Harris. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And completes it again to Metcalf. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Montgomery, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, left side complete to Lockett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Lance now to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time, and that's not easily done because, you know.
Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Oh, good move. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. Throwing again on second down. Lance. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right up.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 15. And that was one I kind of saw it coming, Charles. You had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Lance. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion or would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll go back to Henderson on 1st down, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From just shy of midfield, Lance. He finds his man, complete. That's Warner. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards. They'll run here with Henderson. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Now a throw here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Here's Wilson. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Play action. Now it's Lance. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Lance. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. We'll check on his status when we get back. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. To throw is Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the 38, Lance. Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away. From midfield, here's Lance. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback. From the 45 on 2nd down, Lance. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And the catch made by Johnson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Lance. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Lance going to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Now Wilson. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He's going to try and go deep again. And that'll be incomplete. They took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the 1st quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why
touchdown! DK Metcalf.
His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Here's Lance to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Henderson. 30, 10, 5, touchdown, 49ers. Darrell Henderson, 81 yards. And the Niners use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Wilson's throw into the hands of Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. Short throw to Disley. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Wilson. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. Here's Wilson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it looks like he'll throw here. This to Hines on the drop-off. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Lance looks to throw again. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
One last shot for Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for San Francisco, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.